Welcome to the deep dive. I'm really excited about today's source, actually. It gives us this unique window into something very human, how we handle criticism, essentially. We're not just, retelling a story. We're going straight into an ancient text, Pāṭikājīvakavatthu,
Right.
to pull out some really potent, actionable ideas on navigating negativity and focusing inward. Even today, it's almost like a blueprint for self-reflection. We're in Savatthi, ancient city, bustling.
And that's really our mission here. For you listening, this old story, it seems simple on the surface, but wow, the lessons are surprisingly relevant.
Yeah.
We're exploring how it guides us toward, internal growth, using self-reflection. It's a great example of pulling out key wisdom without getting bogged down by too much info. Sort of a shortcut to clarity.
That sets it up perfectly. So Savatthi, we meet this householder's wife, really devoted woman. She's taken in a mendicant. Patika, he's an Ajivaka, which is a different ascetic group back then. She cares for him like a son. You can picture it, right? Quiet respect in the house.
Definitely. And crucially, there's this buzz going around the neighborhood.
Yeah.
People are coming back from hearing the teacher, the Buddha, and they're just full of praise, talking about his insights, his compassion, the wonders of the Buddhas, that kind of thing.
And hearing all this, the wife, well, she gets curious, naturally. She hears these wonderful descriptions and thinks, I need to hear this myself. I have to go to the monastery, hear this Dhamma.
All right. Makes sense.
So she goes to Patika, the guest she's been caring for, and tells him, I want to go visit the Buddha. What's his reaction? It's telling, isn't it?
Oh, it's immediate. And pretty stark, like the source says. He just refuses, flat out forbids her. And not just once, repeatedly.
Wow.
It's not just about control, I think. It feels like that very human fear, maybe. Fear of losing influence or being overshadowed when something new and, well, powerful comes along.
Like the Buddha's teachings.
Exactly. He sees the Buddha as a threat to his spot in that household.
That's a really insightful way to put it. And you can imagine, for a devoted woman seeking wisdom, that refusal, it wouldn't sit right.
No.
So she's clever. She comes up with plan B. If I can't go to the teacher,
Uh-huh.
I'll invite the teacher to my home.
Smart move.
So she sends her son to extend the invitation.
A clever workaround, yeah.
Yeah.
But here's where Patika, well, his true colors start showing.
Okay.
The son sets off, but first he stops by Pika's place, just to pay respects,
Right.
And Pika asks, where are you off to? The son, probably quite innocently, says, oh, I'm going to invite the teacher to our house.
And Patika must have seen his chance slipping away. What does he do?
Tries to talk the boy out of it immediately, promises him things like, hey, we can both enjoy the nice food Mom prepared for the teacher if you just don't go.
Trying to bribe him, basically.
Seems like it. But the son holds firm. He says, my mother will scold me if I don't do this.
Yeah.
He's sticking to his task.
Good for him. So Patika's getting desperate now.
Yeah, it really ramps up his anxiety, it seems. Since he can't stop the invitation, he shifts to manipulation, outright deception.
How so?
He gives the son this really specific, kind of sneaky instruction. He says, and this is almost a direct quote, don't tell him the way to our house. Not this place, not that street, not by this road.
Huh. So just hide the directions.
Pretty much. He adds, just invite him and then run off. Like you're going a different way. Just pretend to be near him.
Wow. So the goal is clearly to cause trouble, confusion, make the teacher get lost, maybe, undermine the whole visit.
Exactly. That seems to be the clear intention. Sabotage, essentially.
And the son. Does he understand what Pika's up to?
Probably not fully. The text says he followed Pika's instructions exactly, invited the teacher, did a little disappearing act, then went back to Pika and said, okay, done.
Oh, boy. This sets things up for a bit of drama, doesn't it?
It really does. Meanwhile, back at the house, preparations are underway.
Right.
And it's not just the wife. The neighbors are pitching in.
Oh, the community is involved. That's
Right.
nice.
Yeah, they're smearing the house with fresh cow dung. There was a traditional purifying thing, scattering puffed rice, flowers, arranging this really valuable special seat for the teacher.
Right.
The source even adds this little detail. People unacquainted with Buddhas do not know how to arrange seats. It implies the community knew this was important. They were doing it with real reverence.
Okay, so the stage is set. Poka thinks he's thrown a wrench in the works by hiding the directions.
Right. But here's the amazing part. The teacher's unique knowledge completely bypasses Poka's little trick.
How?
The text explains it beautifully. It says, basically, Buddhas don't need guides. On the day they achieve enlightenment, all paths become known to them.
All paths, like literally everything.
Yeah, paths to hell, Animal realms, ghost realms, human world, Davil world, even the path to Nirvana itself. So a path to a village or a town, no problem.
Incredible. So despite Poka's scheme,
The teacher just shows up, arrives at the householder's door by himself early in the morning, like he had GPS built in.
wow. Okay, so Poka's plan failed spectacularly.
Utterly. And the wife, she welcomes the teacher with such deep reverence, leads him inside, seats him on that special seat, offers water, serves him this excellent food prepared for him.
A proper welcome.
Absolutely. Then, after the meal, she takes his bowl, ready, wanting to hear a discourse, and anumadana, they call it.
And the teacher obliges.
Yes. He begins speaking in a sweet, clear voice, the text says. And the wife is just captivated, listening intently.
You can feel her relief and joy.
Totally. She exclaims, sadhu, sadhu, which means excellent, excellent. She's deeply moved.
But wait, where's Paka in all this?
Ah, yes, Poka. He'd shown up early, probably expecting chaos or maybe just wanting to see the teacher fail to arrive. He was lurking in a back chamber.
Okay.
And he hears the wife's exclamations, her praise for the teacher. Sadhu, sadhu.
And he can't handle it.
He cannot endure it, the text says. He just snaps, loses it completely.
What does he do?
He bursts out from the back room, starts yelling, reviling. Both the wife calls her terrible names like, you wretch, black-faced. And the teacher just unleashes this torrent of abuse.
Oh my goodness. In front of everyone.
Yes. And then after this outburst, he just flees. Runs away.
Wow, what a dramatic unraveling. You almost pity him for losing control like that, but it really shows the power of that jealousy, doesn't it?
It really does.
Yeah.
A raw display of unchecked negativity. And the impact on the wife. It's immediate.
I can only imagine. She must have been mortified.
Totally. Ashamed, disturbed. Her mind is just completely thrown off track. She can't follow the teacher's discourse anymore.
Understandable.
The teacher notices, of course. He gently asks her, why isn't your mind following the discourse?
And she tells him.
She explains, yeah, my mind was disturbed by that man's outburst, essentially. By Pika's horrible behavior.
And this is the pivotal moment, right? What the teacher says next.
Exactly. What's fascinating here, and really the heart of this whole deep dive, is the teacher's advice. It's so profound, but also incredibly practical, especially in that moment of turmoil.
What does he say?
He tells her, basically, don't pay attention to what people like that say. Forget about discordant individuals. Instead, and this is key, look at your own actions, what you yourself have done and what you haven't done.
Turn inward. Don't focus on the external drama.
Precisely. And then he delivers this powerful verse, the Gatha. Na para sa vevelamani, na para sa katakato, atanova avekeya katani akatani kati.
Okay, let's unpack this verse, because this feels like the core teaching.
It absolutely is. And the source helps us break it down. First part, na para sa vevelamani.
Which means?
Don't mind the harsh words of others, the heart-piercing stuff. Don't let their negativity get under your skin, essentially.
Block out the noise. Got it. What's next?
Na para sa katakata. This means don't look at what others have done or haven't done.
Don't judge others' actions.
Exactly. The text gives examples like, don't sit there thinking, oh, that lay disciple is faithless. They don't give enough alms, or that monk isn't doing all his duties. He's not meditating enough.
So stop keeping score of other people's perceived failings or successes.
Right. Stop observing or judging their deeds, good or bad, whether they seem faithful or unfaithful, pleased or unpleased. It's not your business, basically.
Okay, so if we're not focusing on others' harsh words and not judging their actions, where does the focus go?
That brings us to the last part. Atanova avekeya katani akatani kati.
My own actions.
Yes. Instead, one should constantly reflect on oneself. Ask yourself, how am I spending my days and nights? The text even gives an example for a monk. Why haven't I yet achieved nibbana, ultimate security, liberation, by applying the insights of impermanence, suffering, non-self?
So for anyone, monk or layperson, it's about examining your own progress, your own efforts, your own actions done and not done.
That's the profound shift. Turn the focus inward. Stop wasting energy analyzing everyone else. Look at yourself.
And the effect of this teaching on the wife after all that turmoil.
It was powerful, truly transformative. The text says, at the end of that discourse, she attained the fruit of stream entry, Satapatiphala.
That's the first stage of enlightenment, isn't it?
It is a major step on the path. And it wasn't just her. The discourse benefited the whole crowd gathered there. A moment of collective insight sparked by that disruption and the teacher's wisdom.
Wow. From chaos to clarity.
And if we connect this to the bigger picture, this teaching, thousands of years old, It's incredibly relevant today, maybe more than ever.
How so?
Well, think about our world. Constant external opinions, criticism flying around, social media comparisons. It's overwhelming.
For sure. Information overload, judgment overload.
Exactly. And this story gives us that aha moment. Real progress, real inner peace. It doesn't come from managing all that external stuff. It comes from shifting our focus inward, redirecting that energy.
From outward judgment to inward reflection.
Precisely. That's the liberation.
So that really is the core takeaway from digging into this Pāṭikājīvakavatthu story, isn't it? This profound freedom we can find when we shift our focus.
Yeah.
Stop getting tangled up in what others say, what others do or don't do, their perceived flaws, and just bring that valuable energy back to our own journey, our own growth, our own done and undone.
Taking back control of our own mental space.
Exactly.
And this ancient wisdom, it just offers so much clarity, so much potential for peace in our daily lives.
Okay.
It really pushes us to think about this self-reflective practice, like how much of our day, our mental energy, gets spent on the external noise versus internal cultivation.
That's a good question.
What could change if we consciously chose to focus more inward?
So here's something maybe for you to mull over listening to this. In your own life, think about it. How much energy do you think you unconsciously spend observing, reacting to, maybe even judging the done or undone of other people? And what might actually happen? What could shift for you if you manage to redirect even just a little bit of that energy back towards your own done and undone, your own path?
It's a powerful question to sit with.
It really is. We definitely encourage you to explore that idea further in your own life.